Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so today we're going to be doing a video going over the GQ for this upcoming week from the 20th to the 26th. And it's because that's a bit different now. It's not Human and Squad Zero anymore. It is now just Human Killer, which, oh my god, please release a Human DPS, because what you're about to see is kind of startling. And then for the second phase, obviously we have Soul Reaper Killer, and it's only range, so basically, I don't think anything has really changed from this week. But for the Human week, I believe it was Squad Zero and Human before, but now it's only Human. So, you know, it's going to be a bit different. It will not be Nightmare unless it is, then I'll put up a little thing saying it is. But I'm pretty sure it's just very hard Go Quest for right now. And we will have to see how that goes. But yeah, so I have a Human team. This is what I have to be using. I don't know which Tatsuki I will use because I don't know the final enemy. I believe is going to be Kugo, so I would assume you would use a technique version of the Tatsuki. Probably want a Tatsuki that either has no debuff, like she does constant damage, either a mind or a heart character, or maybe you're lacking on the final boss, so you'd use a Tatsuki to clear up the final boss more consistently. So I believe it was a speed character, so you know, use a technique character, boom. Yeah, when you go to the Human characters, there aren't that many. Alright, so yeah, this is all of the Human killers. The characters I'm missing, unironically, are actually pretty good for this guild quest. The Soifan is a side character because she has the planted vortex, so it can just keep enemies in place. And then the Kira, which is actually going to be a very good booster since there is no melee or ranged restrictions, so her SA2 is actually going to be able to do damage. Since she is an SP character, that's a very big thing. If she was a NAD character, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but since she's mainly a SP character, you're gonna want that SA2 to actually do damage. Unfortunately, she can't proc status summons, so you know, on her SA2, so the damage to paralysis damage enemies is not gonna be that great. But she has enhancer, she has booster, she has the SP boost, she has frenzy +2, which honestly I don't really like that she has status summons. I'm not gonna lie, because then you cook out your Quincy Ichigo or whoever your main DPS is gonna be, which is very unfortunate. But either way, she would probably be the best booster for this in general. The two best DPSs, if I would have to say, is either a maximum set of NAG character, like maybe a Tatsuki, I've seen it done in very hard, or a Geo, potentially if you have the maximum set. But realistically, I feel as though most people are going to have either the Balgo or the Quincy Ichigo, who's even more available since he's a premium character. And I think he easily has more damage output since the other character is a potion farmer. Now, what does Quincy Ichigo have? He has weakening, he has drain in all of his skills, so that way even if you get hit, you can still recover and get your full stamina back fairly easily, since he does have the frenzy +2, and he also has increased status damage chance against speed attribute enemies, which I believe should be the final boss, so that's gonna be a very, very nice thing. And then, you know, he also has increased technique attribute character strong attack damage +20%, so you know, I actually don't think that helps in this GQ like at all, but yeah, it's there. And then obviously the SP boost of 80%. He's gonna do very, very, very well. He also has, you know, full stamina boost, have like sprint +2, very, very nice. So very, very nice character right there. Also, let me just double check. What is this Soifan exactly? Is she a NAD or an SP character? She is an SP character. So, you know, you can bring Quincy Ichigo, you bring this Soifan, she should be doing a bit better. She has paralysis resistance, full stamina only, reduced strong attack cooldown. Oh my god, wait, are there status elements on the floor? Oh my god, I just realized Ichigo's not gonna have complete status immunity. Oh, that's annoying. Neither of the DPSs are actually. Ooh, that's gross. She has full stamina only, increased strong attack damage +4%, frenzy of 1, increased technique attribute character strong attack damage +20%, and increased technique attribute soul reaper damage to status element affected enemies +40%. She is literally the icon for the technique attribute, so if you did end up pulling her, she's actually be a very good character for this GQ, or whenever you're using a technique soul reaper character. So like Ichibe, Safui Tosho, and this Quincy Ichigo. Wait, no, he's no affiliation. That actually sucked. He's only no affiliation. Oh, that's annoying. Either way, she's still gonna boosting, and in this GQ she should do pretty good damage. Outside of that, maybe the Okiura does pretty decent. This Yama is a pretty decent side character. He has pretty decent damage output, and he doesn't inflict status ailments, and he has increased damage to enemies affected by an ailment +100%. So you know, if you're just getting unlucky, not proccing your SP boost, maybe he can cook a little bit. You know. Probably gonna need a few dupes, but he should be fine. Shinji wouldn't be too bad of a character. He has the SP boost. I believe that, or not SP, he has the debuff mechanic on his SA2. I think he actually has the SP. No, he doesn't have element reversal. Never mind. He has full stamina damage plus 30% because of his soul trait. Strong type damage, berserker of 60%, devastation of 60%. And then speed, attribute captain, strong attack damage plus 20%, which does basically nothing except boost him a little bit. So he's not going to be terrible, and he also does have human killer, so he should be decent. He should be doing okay damage. Nothing crazy, but the debuff is probably going to come in handy if he procs it on the right enemies. Outside of that, Geo is pretty good. Obviously, the Tatsuki's, as I said, Love isn't terrible. None of the characters below Tatsuki I would recommend, to be honest. Booster, you could potentially use Raruka. I mean, she does not have boost. I'm thinking of the SA3 charge. I do not recommend it. Never mind. I take it all back. I was wrong. These characters I just would not recommend at all, to be honest. Maybe Eburn. Maybe. Like, he doesn't have a terrible damage output. Frenzy of 2. Damage to last rated enemies plus 6%. Reduced strong attack damage, devastation of 60, and 40% berserker. Not bad. Maybe if you need it. But yeah, it's a very lackluster GQ, I'm not going to lie. It is very unfortunate. And since it's not restricted, I mean, maybe you could just brute force it. So if you don't know, some of these characters in the entire game are very, very good. Very good. So maybe you could brute force it with characters with Rampage, for example. Like, I mean, maybe Kangdu could do it just because he doesn't have Rampage, but he has, I want to say he has the enemy defeater bonus, No, he has the gauge. He has the insane gauge where he gets an extra frenzy and then smash plus 2, I guess. He has gauge, rampage, frenzy plus 2, increased status and chance against power attribute enemies, and then he has SP boost of 120%, also Marauder and multi barrier. So I mean, if you have him built, he could probably do pretty well. Same characters go for like end of your Yuha. He's absolutely insane. Trushikai Ichigo could potentially do it. These are just enemies that I think that could brute force it potentially. Characters such as like Kilgay or Yachiru Unahana. Those are like the only ones that I would say that could probably do it. Outside of that, it would probably just be the only character with human killer, to be honest, because they're probably going to be pretty tanky. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to just say right now, it is a very hard GQ, not Nightmare, but it is the Range Soul Reaper Killer week. We had it a little while ago, but now it's back, and this is probably the team I'm going to be using. The character that might change is Rose. He's not fully like built or anything. He's only 3-5, so I might end up swapping him out for a different character, like maybe 6th Anniversary Aizen, just for more ad clear. Just so that, all the mobs stay off my main character. They stay weakened and whatnot. But another good character, honestly, would be Nelly Yell. She is max transcended. I don't know what the floor resistance is or anything. Actually, I can just check. It is going to be paralysis. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. So, paralysis. Does Rose have it? No, he has slow. That is very unfortunate. So, I'd probably end up having to give her that. But I mean, Ichigo does have a complete shared status immunity, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, shared complete status immunity. So if I try to position myself really well, I could potentially be fine. And then I'll be using Orihime as my main booster. Obviously, she's like the best one for it. Realistically, if you don't have her, is there any other booster? To be honest, I think it's literally this Orihime right here. This Orihime is a very good boost character. Pretty good damage, nothing like extraordinary, but she isn't too bad. Don't look at the accessories, by the way. I'm not changing the accessories for every single character. You could potentially use this Momo. She has complete status immunity, increased damage to enemies not affected by an ailment. She has enhancer and boost, which is very good, so that way your main character can actually do more damage. So not too bad. And she doesn't have barrier. I thought she did. So she's a potential option. And then the old Kirio, who is meant for this GQ. You could potentially end up using her. She is a NAD character, so, not too bad. Unfortunately, though, her SA2 is going to count as a melee attack, so, it's not going to do any damage, but she's a NAD character, so it doesn't really make that big of a difference. Those are all the boosters, realistically, that I would recommend. I don't believe there are any other for this GQ. Obviously, you could use Mana or Orihime. She's a very nice go-to if you don't have them, or any other booster, or, any other ranged boosters such as that, like Tech Aizen, the Agony, I think Aizen, that one, he's a really, really good character to use if you need to. Alright, but now let's go over every single option, because who knows, maybe I was just missing some potentially. But yeah, as you can see, the best characters are probably going to be Ichigo, Orihime, and then if you take off everything and you just go 6-star, go mine. This Shuhei right here that I do not have is an absolute godsend with the current 7th anniversary Ichigo, simply because of the two things right here. Mind attribute, Soul Reaper, strong attack damage plus 20%, and then Team Party increased mind attribute, Soul Reaper damage through status and when affected enemies plus 40%. Even if he dies, he doesn't really matter. He just makes your Ichigo do insane amounts of damage, and that's mainly all you want him to do. You want your Ichigo to carry, Orihime is a boost. Some good crowd control because of her SA2. That's literally it. Bing, bang, boom. He's insane. I wish I had him, but of course he's like the only mind character that I actually am like missing. That I'm like, dang, I really wish I had him. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. As for any other options, in terms of like the main DPS, Noelle is going to be an exceptional option. Mine is only 2.5, so I don't think she's that much better. It's probably going to be about the same, but the paralysis on Ichigo makes it very, very more consistent because, you know, he paralyzes enemies, and then, you know, you don't have to deal with anything else. 6th anniversary Aizen, if he's maxed instead, it could do fairly well. In terms of like main characters, he might be okay. He doesn't have insane damage output, but he is fairly consistent. You know, he has a full stamina plus 20, complete status immunity to increase strong attack damage at full stamina plus 40%, increase stats and chance against power attribute enemies, and then damage to weakened enemies. Honestly, if you just had an SP boost, he would actually probably be pretty darn good. I also like his SAs, except for his SA1, and then his SA2 doesn't have a status symbol, which is unfortunate, but he keeps your team safe. You got a barrier. Not too shabby. If he's the best you got, you can definitely use it. But yeah, as I said, main characters gonna be Ichigo, Noelle, 6th anniversary Aizen, or potentially a maxer instead of a normal attack damage character, such as like the Neliel, Rose, potentially Orihime if she's maxed instead of, dear God, you might cook. And then maybe Gin or something. He's not a NAD character, I'm just saying maybe you could potentially use him. Outside of that, the side NAD characters would obviously be Neliel or Rose or, oh wait, I almost forgot this. Orihime is also another good side. She is a booster, but if you have two boosters such as both Orihimes, you can just use both and just put one on full normal attack damage and then one on recharge and full stam, or recharge and NAD if you have those links, but they're very rare. We have like 2 in the game, so you could do that. She is a good option. I've used her before, or this Kiryu as a SA2 booster. And yeah, that is pretty much going to be it for this week. Obviously, you could try to brute force it with any ranged character that's extremely good, but most of them that are ranged are, like, I don't think we have a single ranged rampage character, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're all melee. We have Rukia. We do have Rukia, this one, but her SA2, not that good damage. Unfortunately, she also can't inflict status elements on it, so I would not fully recommend it, unless maybe she's max extended, maybe. And yeah, that's literally it. She's the only rampage character. That's crazy. That is a range character. So yeah, I would not personally recommend it, but who knows? Maybe you're just built different. So yeah, that is probably going to be it for this video. Let me know down below what teams you're going to be using. I already showcased my 2 teams. Hopefully you guys clear it fairly fast. Take care, and peace out.